You know what I've just realized while having my first cup of coffee for the day? That it's a rarity that a motor journalist gets the opportunity to drive a car that they had a help in designing. Yes, I get to drive a car I helped design. Okay, kinda.
Welcome to another episode of Tyrone Paulson Drives, and this is the Chery Tiggo 8 Pro Max. Okay, maybe I'm not really responsible, but you see, when I accompanied Chery South Africa earlier this year to their factory in China, we got to go and see how the cars are made, and we even got to drive and was asked our opinion about some of the cars. Unbeknownst to me, that then Chery Tiggo 8 Pro Max was one of those cars whose boxes we were ticking. So I made some suggestions and, now the car's here. So I help most kinda, sorta, in a way, right? The Chery Tiggo 8 Pro Max is basically an upgrade to the Tiggo 8 Pro. You're getting the same looks, practicality, technology, but this car has significant more upgrades, and it starts right up front here under the hood. You see, the Tiggo 8 Pro has a 1.6-litre four-cylinder turbocharged engine, and that one produces a respectable 145 kilowatts and 290 newton meters of torque. But the 8 Pro Max here gets a more powerful 2-litre four-cylinder turbocharged engine, producing 187 kilowatts and 390 newton meters of torque, and it sends all the power via a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission to its 19-inch wheels, and then it also has a quad exhaust system, which, by the way, was one of my suggestions. No fakery here. Interestingly, what makes this Tiggo 8 Pro Max interesting is that this is the new MY23 version of it. You see, it's basically an update of the version that we've had in South Africa since last year. And a lot of customers said they want some changes in it. And some of them are cosmetic, like the ones here in the front. It's got a brand new grille. This badge, it actually lights up at night. It's got an LED strip in it. Talking about LEDs, there's a new redesigned rear taillight system with matrix LEDs. It now covers the entire back of the car, and it looks really, really amazing. Now, the rest of the changes are found right here inside of the cabin. It's got new door trims and a redesigned dash and center console. And then there's this 24.6-inch curved instrument cluster and driver display. It is amazing. This whole infotainment system has been updated, so it's got new maps and a whole bunch of new software, and it's got an upgraded 8-speaker Sony sound system. It now also has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but unfortunately I still don't know how to make it work. This entire cabin, though, is comprehensively equipped, making some of his German, Korean, and even Japanese rivals, dare I even say, kind of look cheap at times. I mean, this car's got everything from electrically adjusted heated and cooled seats, wireless charging, a surround HD camera system, a panoramic sunroof, color-changing ambient lighting, a plethora of airbags. It's got a built-in dash cam, and then there are those no-need-to-pay extra safety features like adaptive cruise control. It's got lane keeping assist, front and back collision mitigation, rear cross traffic alert, and many, many more. It even has a thing that when you stop, it turns on the 360-degree camera, depending on which indicator you got, and it shows that part. And it's great from a safety point of view, especially with those smash and grabbers we have. These seats, they are super comfortable, and the all-round visibility is really good, but it creates that feeling of elevation when sitting over here. It's like you kind of looking down at your fellow motorists out there. The only weird thing, though, for me is this rear view mirror. It creates this zoomed in widescreen kind of effect that takes kind of getting used to initially, but then once you get it, you think like, well, why do other cars not do this? In the rear, there is enough leg and headroom for short and tall people. And with this panoramic sunroof, it just adds that extra feeling of spacing here. Behind me, there is a third row of seats, but it's not really made for adults, especially old folks like me with bad knees. But there are aircon controls in there, USB charging points, cup holders, the same up here as well. There's ISOFIX points if you need to add a car seat, and all the seats fold down as well. And talking about folding down the seats and extra space, the boot size of 892 liters when in 5-seater mode is very, very generous. So overall, this is quite a well-spec'd family SUV with a lot of luxury features that you would need to pay extra for from a lot of its competitors. So while we were in China, Chery South Africa told us that they are going to bring out a performance version of one of their Tiggo SUVs. They didn't want to tell us which one it was, but all they said it would have hot hatch kind of performance figures. And they stayed true to that, though. They brought it out in this Tiggo 8 Pro Max. I mean, it might not be a hot hatch and it can't perform like a hot hatch, but it has that hot SUV kind of feel to it. It does have that kickback in its seat performance from this 2-liter engine, which could be fun and engaging at a time, but it's not really that car that you're going to be robot racing with or taking around a twisty mountain path. Not like you can't do it, trust me, you can, but you won't, because ultimately this is a family SUV and your family will be with you all the time. It's got 3 driving modes. It's got Eco and it's got the normal mode that I'm in right now, and then it also has
Sports mode entered.
Yeah, which then again gives you a better throttle response and firms up, well, the steering a little, allowing you to just, well, do exactly those things that I said that you won't be doing, which is putting it into a corner and just letting go and letting your boy racer come out. And that's the thing though with this car. You will probably get caught out a couple of times because you tend to forget that this is a family SUV with 187 kilowatts and 390 Newton meters of torque on tap. But here's the thing though, with everything that's in it, with all the technology and just the way it feels to drive, it kind of gives you that confidence that, well, it can handle it and you will be able to handle it as well. Fuel consumption though, well, that's another story, because fuel consumption, Chery claims it to be between just under 8 liters per 100 kilometers. I've been averaging over that, but that's understandable because I have been driving it, well, quite spiritedly. And I can tell you, it is quite fun. I mean, you can definitely have fun in it. Let's give it a bash again. That's the one thing that I like about Chery though. When they say they're going to do something, they do just that. And they definitely got it right with this hot version of their Tiggo 8. Very, very cool. Let's go back to normal quickly.
Normal mode entered.
Thank you. So quite often I get asked the question, would I spend my own money on the cars that I drive? And in this case, if I was in a market for a family SUV with maybe 2 extra seats, then this car would definitely be at the top of that list. Because you see, as it is, with everything it has, comes in at just under 670,000 Rand. Its closest German rival at its entry point comes in at just over 650,000 Rand with a less powerful engine and more tech. But if you want that in its sportiest version, you're going to have to spend over 800,000 Rand, and then you still have to tick a whole bunch of boxes. This car also gives you a 7-year 90,000 kilometer service plan, a 5-year 150,000 kilometer warranty, and a 10-year 1 million kilometer engine warranty. This really is a good offer. It's got the looks, it's got the specs, it's got the tech, it's got an amazing warranty, and all the stuff that Chery is putting into investing into the country for these cars from a dealer network. I think it's enough to kind of convince anybody. But I guess only time will tell.